Save me a piece of that corn.
When I say space, you say chairs. Space!
Chairs!
When I say space chairs, you say our intergalactic space chairs.
Our intergalactic
Space chairs! And scene. Welcome to another Cornfed cast, or as we like to call it, the little cast on the prairie. The podcast on the prairie.
Yeah,
What
little
do we-
podcast on
The little
prairie.
podcast on the prairie.
Yeah.
There you have it.
That was the excellent name.
And today we're coming to you with a brand new topic and something a little unusual. It's not a typical Midwest theme per se. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about when Will Smith hit Chris Rock at the Academy Award ceremony.
No, we're not. Fake news.
We're talking about YouTube and why we did it, and if you want to do it, what works for us and what doesn't work.
All right, so we're going to... Oh, also, before I forget, you might notice we're wearing some super cool Midwest college gear. I've got the Bethany College, who are the Swedes, of course, because they're from Lindsborg, Kansas, which is a really cool Swedish town. And Karina's sporting
Innocuous Nebraska football t-shirt.
Nebraska football. Is it the Cornhuskers? We don't know.
We don't know.
Could be. Probably a knockoff. Anyway, stay tuned till the end, and we'll tell you how you can win some of this cool swag.
Yeah.
All right. So, first we're going to talk about why and how we got into YouTube, how our journey began. And for those that don't know, this is not our first dance. No, we actually have several other YouTube channels that we've been doing. The longest one we've been doing for, is it 9 years now? 8 or 9 years? It's gotta be.
Our channel commercial was put up like 7 years ago, so I think I want to say 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So we've been doing YouTubing for around 8 years, we'll say. And you want to tell a little about how we got started? Because you were kind of the mastermind that started it all.
Right.
I didn't... YouTube was still fairly new. I mean, people were starting to know about what it was and whatnot. But it still wasn't a big thing. Everybody wasn't... I mean, nobody was making money really on YouTube. I mean, not... Maybe a couple people. But 8 years ago, it was still fairly a new thing. So what...
Well,
how did that go?
I had what might be, which I'm pretty sure is, the world's worst job in the world's worst place to have the world's worst job, which is Southern California.
Disagree.
No, it was the worst, and I wanted an escape, and I knew that you could make money on YouTube. I dabbled with it a little bit in college. I would do little music videos, little themes with different scenes that I had shot of my friends, put to music, and then I thought, well, I know people are making money by the do-it-yourself DIY channels, so I might as well start to do that, because one great thing about living in Southern California is that every Wednesday people would put out this furniture that just had like a little ding in it. It was no big deal. They thought it was out of style even if it was, still in great shape. So we would take our old pickup truck and we'd go around and round up all these headboards, all these wooden dinette sets, and all this great furniture that I would then redo and sell on Craigslist. So I thought, well, hey, I can wrap that into making videos about it and maybe making a little bit more cash so that I won't be forced to go back to work. So our first video that we did on this Captain America Projects DIY channel was how to paint stools. It was epic. I painted 4 stools 4 different ways because I had this 5-gallon of purple paint I didn't want to use that on the walls. So I painted the stools and then I put fun little designs using silver and white paint on the top. And the rest is history.
As they say.
We did little project videos like how to paint stools. And our first semi-big hit video was how to reupholster a couch. So I got this couch for $10 from the Goodwill, and I watched a lady's video on how to reupholster it. And it was fun for me to learn. And I don't know. I think I picked out some pretty hideous material, but I thought it was so stylish. It was like a paisley print for the cushions and then a pinstripe purple for the backing and the frame. But I think I did a good job sewing, but I just kind of followed her directions and I implemented her video into my video. I added a link to her video and we got to talking, and so she kind of supported me when we first got started. And so that was our
breakout hit?
Yeah, our breakout hit that started to make us a little bit of money. So we got a little bit of hope from this that it might work. I know talking to a friend of ours, he was really frustrated with not making money initially because starting on YouTube, it kicks off really slowly. You don't have a lot of success up front. You gotta really be patient and work on it, and then it'll start rolling in. But we just encouraged him, hey, keep on it. I know you only made a penny this month, but just keep on it. That's how it goes. And now he's making more money at it than we are. He's very successful at it. So what was our all-time most successful video, and who did this video?
That would be yours truly. And that was a video that almost didn't get made, but I started the project and I thought, yeah, I need to be making this video. It's kind of frustrating for me because when I do a lot of DIY projects, and this particular one, if you want to look it up, it's called How to Build a Fence That Will Last. And it was actually, we had just bought a new house and the back fence had completely fallen over and was rotted out and whatnot. So we needed a new fence. So it's kind of frustrating for me sometimes because you want to just get the project done, and making a video kind of really like slows down the progress. But I just thought, well, I need to do this. This might be something that helps people. And it was kind of a different style of fence because we used metal fence posts with wood fence pickets. And I just thought, oh, somebody might get some good out of this. And who knows, maybe a few people will watch it. And that's kind of the point. That has become our most viewed video. Last I checked, I think it's over 500,000 views, or it's somewhere in the 500,000 ballpark, but by far our biggest video. And it's just funny that our biggest video is one that I did kind of as an afterthought and almost didn't even make. So that's a good point when you're thinking about doing YouTube, like make a video about everything that you think might, because you don't know what's going to stick. We've done videos that we thought, oh, this is going to be huge. People are going to love this. And then, you know, it'll go nowhere. And then other videos you think, oh, for example, I want to point one out real quick. So our channel, as you might surmise, is all about like DIY and home projects. We had some vacation rentals over at the coast, and we were hiring a gal who did other work for us, Haley. Shout out to Haley in Reedsport. But anyway, we were gonna hire her. She did cleaning and stuff for us, and but she was always down to do whatever. So we hired her to do some lawn mowing, and we had a battery operated lawnmower that we were gonna have her use. And I was concerned that she wouldn't know how to figure everything out. I mean, it's not that hard, but if you've never done it, you have to do a certain order of things to start it, and then the batteries are tricky to put in. So I told her, I'll make a quick video and put it on YouTube so you can just watch it and see how to do it. And I basically was just doing that for her, showing how to put the battery in and how to start the mower. And that ended up taking off. I mean, it hasn't gone viral by any means, but a video I just made specifically for her, like thousands of people have now watched and enjoyed. So you just, like I say, you never know what's gonna stick.
Yeah, you'll be
So.
surprised because you'll get an amazing shot of like the dog doing an extraordinary thing like catching a mouse, and it'll be like 3 views. And then you get another video of him like picking up a soda can and taking it to you, and that'll get like thousands upon thousands of views. So you just never know. It's basically based upon what Google and therefore YouTube decides to promote. Like you have to find the magic key. So we talked about like our biggest hits for videos, and now I'd like to talk about what our favorite videos are. And I just want to prop up my video that I made of us doing a Christmas card video one year. And it was a lot of fun because Craig was up for playing around, and he was play acting that he was flying an airplane. So I superimposed him on a toy airplane, and we used some drone shots. And then also I was driving this toy truck in the video. It was just a lot of fun. I think that it came out great because I watched it years later and I was like, wow, I don't think I could do that today.
We've digressed.
Yeah. And my favorite video on the Cornfed Life is probably the Omaha Zoo one, because I was just enthralled with all the animals that they had there, and I love watching that video.
They got some great critters at the Omaha Zoo, so
yeah,
if you're in the area, definitely check that out. That was one of our friends, the Myers and the Pearsons back in Oregon, told us to check that zoo out, and we were really happy we did. Definitely worth a full day.
Yeah. So what are your favorites from Cornfed and from overall?
Oh, okay, so my favorite that we've made so far on this channel on Cornfed Life has been the Freedom Convoy video we made, and that was fun because we got to play reporters for a day. And that was pretty cool because we just kind of, I think I heard on a news channel or something that the Freedom Convoy, for those that don't know, that's the semi trucks that drove they came from all parts of America, and they all converged on Washington D.C. Basically to protest all the government mandates due to COVID and stuff. They were kind of inspired by the similar convoy that happened up north in Canada, the Great White North. So we decided, they said, oh, it's coming through this evening at a certain time or whatever. So we were just like, hey, we should go down. It was coming through Salina, Kansas, which is just an hour away from us. So we just said, hey, let's go down and see what we see. And we kind of took off in the middle of the night. We left our house, I think like 10:30 at night, heading that way, really not knowing what to expect. I was hoping to get some of the people on the bridges, on all the overpasses. Well, a lot of the overpasses, there were people waving flags and stuff, greeting the truckers. So I was hoping to get some of those people and talk to them. And then also I wanted to talk to some of the truckers, of course. And it was kind of cool because we did find some people on our second attempt. We saw one guy on an overpass with a ginormous flag. He was just waving back and forth. And by the time we got to that bridge, he had left. And it's kind of funny because in Kansas, there's a lot of overpasses that, although they're over a major freeway, they're in the middle of nowhere in order to get to them. It's not like, roads. So it's not like you just exit and then there's the overpass. No, you gotta.
We saw a possum while we were trying to find this road.
yeah. So you literally, you see an overpass, and you may have to go 3, 4, 5 miles down the road, take an exit, and then you take these backcountry dirt roads to get to that overpass. So our second attempt was successful. We saw 3 people on a bridge waving flags, and we went on the back roads and got there, and they were still going, and so we got to interview them, and that was really cool. The lady was really intriguing to me. She was Rhonda was her name, and she was a preschool teacher in Wichita, and she just had some really inspiring stories, and it was neat because she gave us some really cool info about how during COVID her school hadn't shut down for one day. They didn't mask, they didn't do anything, and that was a really neat story. I didn't hear that anywhere. I didn't know any schools had done that. So yeah, her and her husband, really neat people. And then there was another young man that didn't know them. They had just all kind of met on that overpass. So we got to talk to them, and then it was cool because then we got to go to. Then we went right into Salina to a truck stop, and we got to speak to a few truckers
that weren't asleep at that point.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them were already asleep. They'd already gone through and were sleeping. But and we talked to some real interesting characters. So that was my favorite Cornfed. But one of my favorite all-time videos is on another channel that we run called Country City Media, and that was a video called Posse on Old 99. So if you have the chance, YouTube Posse on Old 99.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it.
So what that is it's a shout out to one of my favorite hip hop songs from my high school days, Posse on Broadway by the one and only Sir Mix-a-Lot. A lot of people only know him for that one song. You know what I'm talking about.
That was about like pretty faces, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that. But he had a lot of really fun other songs. Posse on Broadway, I always loved it. It was just a neat song about him and his crew driving through the streets of Seattle, just hitting all their favorite joints and doing all this stuff. And he's basically just describing all the streets they're going down and stuff. And I just thought, hey, I'd always love to do that to my hometown. And I finally got the chance just before we moved to Kansas. I was like, it's now or never. So I did a video to the same, we used his same tune. And
so many people got in on it with us too. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of friends.
Got a lot of friends
it
involved.
made a good memory before we had to leave.
Right. Yeah, and then it's fun because if we ever miss our hometown, we can pop on the video and see all our favorite joints from back in the day.
So now you hit upon the high points. So what was some of our most disappointing work?
Well, the one that I am most ashamed of is our Mall of America video. Oh, so bad. And I just want to say part of it is just we were just shooting it with a cell phone as we walked through, and so it's very like shaky and bad. And I want to say that a lot of times it's funny because we actually have some pretty good equipment for doing this stuff, for making videos. But oftentimes these videos that we make are spontaneous, and we don't have our equipment. We'll be out and about, and we'll just have a cell phone. And so then the sound might be bad, or it might be windy, and so that's why if you see a lot of videos, especially our earlier ones, we're trying to be more proactive and take our good equipment with us when we get out and about. But if you see one that's not so great, it's probably because we weren't expecting to shoot that video. We do a lot of impromptu things that we come across, so please don't judge us on some of them.
Yeah, but judge me on my worst video.
Which
and that
is?
Was, how to make a flip-flop Valentine.
Oh, why was that so bad?
It was, the card was just hideous that I made, and so was the video. It was terrible. I think it was just still shots as well. I don't believe it was even a video. It was just terrible. I was like, oh, come on. You can do better than this.
All right, so let's get to the meat of the issue. For those that are thinking about starting a channel, or you have a channel and you want to know how to move things forward. Also I wanted to give them a little background. So we have our biggest channel. I mean, we're by no means huge YouTubers, but what always intrigued me is like how much money are people making. So I'm going to tell you on our biggest channel, that's the Captain America projects. And we'll put a link down below, or maybe a card or something so you can check that channel out if you're interested. I think we're nearing 5,000 subscribers there. We're just maybe a couple hundred subscribers shy of 5,000 subscribers. We average that. YouTube is very random with what they pay you. I think our best month we've made just shy of $500 a month on that, and currently I think we're making around 200, and it will fluctuate up and down as you're growing. So, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason sometimes. Sometimes there have been times when we didn't add any videos for a long time. We were just busy, and our channel would go up, which is unusual. Usually YouTube honors you for putting up videos on a regular basis, but it has happened where we didn't do anything and our money started going up what we made. So it's very random, but I'd say usually we're somewhere between 2 to 500 with 5,000 subscribers on that DIY channel. So that maybe give you a ballpark on what you can expect. So of course on this one, we're not making anything yet, but we're having a blast and we hope to get there.
Okay, so one of the biggest things I found that makes your video easily searchable and comes up at the top of searches is the title. The title is imperative. And I found that you can look for a good title by just going to Google and just start typing in the subject of your video. And then it'll come up with suggestions like what people are currently looking for under the subject. So you could just pick out those phrases and stick them in your title. That's one way to get a title that'll pull your video up to the top of the search. And also another way is just to search for a similar video already on YouTube and look at them and see like, okay, which ones are the ones with the highest views and come up at the top of the search, and basically do like an identical title to your video if it matches, you know. You don't want to falsely advertise what your video is about, but if as near as possible to that successful video that you can get, and the title is just so imperative. It's more imperative than the tags that you put on, than the video description that you add. Then most everything is the title is what I found is really what makes your video popular or not. I've done little things where I put up a short and it was getting like no views. And then I'll just switch around the title and then all of a sudden it'll just take off. Just boom. The title is so important. Maybe the most important thing.
Yeah, and then make sure you incorporate your title into the next thing, which is the thumbnail. And most of you probably know thumbnails are important, but I do see a lot of channels that have great videos, but a really crappy thumbnail. And sometimes I wonder how many I miss because thumbnail's there to catch people's eye. And if you don't have a great thumbnail and people are scrolling through, remember there's millions and millions of videos on YouTube. So you got to do a little something to catch people's eye to make your video stand out. And so we usually include the title of the video in the thumbnail or something to do with the title of the video.
Big, bold words.
Yeah, remember the thumbnail is small, so you got to make those words pretty large. But the thumbnail is definitely important. So, have Photoshop or some design product where you can make really cool looking thumbnails. We use also sometimes, what's that part? TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a great tool. They have different paid level memberships, but they have some free ones. And they have, I think one of the free ones, you can make thumbnails. So it allows you to grab a frame of your video and then put little titles on it. So you can you do that all from within the YouTube platform. So that's super handy. So check out TubeBuddy if you can.
Yeah, I also like to use TubeBuddy. I'll go and look at a very successful video on the same subject that I'm doing, and it'll have like the thumbnails that this.
You're boring me.
Stop yawning when people talk. It'll have
Stop making me film in the middle of the night.
No, this is the morning. You said good morning.
Oh,
right?
That's right. We're here in the morning.
Early morning.
It's not 11 o'clock at night here.
Well, anyway. The TubeBuddy will list all the tags that the successful video has used, so you can copy those same tags and use them on your video too. And that'll kind of incorporate your video. It may become suggested after people watch this other video. So that's a good way to get a lot of views, is to hit upon being a suggested video.
Right. Yeah. In fact, one of our top video, I think it might still be our top video, I'm not sure, on this channel is a video called The Rodeo Prayer. And that's just really taken off. And it's funny because we had it up for months and it got a few views. And it was one I really wanted to get out there because it actually has nothing to do with us. It's just we were at a rodeo and we recorded the opening prayer that the announcer did. And it was so beautiful. It really touched us and moved us. And I just thought it was something that would really benefit people around the country. And so I really wanted to get it out there but it didn't get a lot of views. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like months into it, it just took off. And YouTube has analytics that show you like where your views are coming from. And so, needless to say, I found out that that was attached to a certain country music video. So basically, when people, it was a pretty popular video, and people would watch that, and then ours would come up as one of the suggestions to watch after that. And that's something you have no control over. YouTube will just randomly decide, hey, I think this people that watch this video would like this. So if they grab one of your videos and put it as a suggested on a big video, then you can just see your video take off. And that's pretty awesome. It's, like I said, nothing you can control, but if that happens, so don't give up on videos either if they don't take off right away, because something like that can happen and then it'll really go. And which leads me to the next thing we wanted to talk about, which is things that we're passionate about. And one thing we are passionate about is sharing God with people out there, also fellowshipping with other Christians. One of the funnest things for me on YouTube is meeting other YouTubers, even non-YouTubers, through comments. We love meeting people and reading their comments and replying to them. It's really meaningful to know that you're touching other people's lives and you're making friends, and that's something we really enjoy.
Yeah, so that's a great underlying purpose. And really, overall, for a good advice for anybody is to make sure that you are passionate about your content. That way you don't get burnt out on this. If you want to make this into a full-time job, that you really enjoy. I know I've really enjoyed meeting all the new people and seeing all the crazy new things out here. There's so much more to life than I ever expected. Just living in a strange new area, it's just opened my mind to like, wow, the possibilities of life are kind of endless. Yeah. And it's been a really exciting adventure, and just to keep that all up in your content in your life, then it really shows in your videos, and people want to follow along with you because they can tell when you're having a good time.
Yeah, when you're passionate about something, it shows, and you will find people. I mean, the world is such a big place that whatever you're passionate about, no matter how obscure that thing is, I guarantee you there are others out there that are passionate about it too, and they will find you. So just do what you're passionate about, and the viewers will come, sometimes with patience and time.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's other ways to grow your channel, and that's you can promote your channel by using other platforms. Like I have a WordPress account where I do a blog, and then I have that Patreon account where I also write a newsletter a couple times a month, and then a Twitter account where I can post up our new videos, a Getter account. I love Getter. It's a conservative Twitter, and it's a lot of fun, and it's really well made. It's very easy to use. I love Getter. And then also Pinterest. Pinterest, I don't know about that one, but I started a Pinterest page, and they kept on asking me, what are your pronouns? Please enter your pronouns. I'm like, how is that imperative for what I'm interested in? Like, who cares? Like, people aren't really interacting with each other. They're just taking different pins. Who cares what my pronouns are? It doesn't matter. But whatever. Anyway, just if you use different platforms, then they can really help you out. Like for this, we even started a podcast, and we have like an audio platform. And so I'm going to do a little commercial. So Buzzsprout has this really, really easy to use platform that we use. I started out using it for free, and then you can have your files up there for 3 months, and then after 3 months they get rid of them if you're not paying for service. And service is pretty cheap. It's like $12 a month. And what they do is they upload your file, and then they distribute it to all the major players like iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, iTunes, just anything that you can think of, any of the podcast platforms. there's so many of them. There's like 50 of them that it broadcasts to. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I've been getting into Spotify a lot and like seeking out different podcasts to listen to subjects like the Gilded Age and things like that. What I've been kind of disappointed in is that I can't find a lot of content where the podcasters are as conservative as me, and they don't cuss or talk about things that shouldn't really be talked about in public on their podcast. So I hope more people like you out there like will start new podcasts. And if you do want to start a podcast, use the link in the video description, and after 2 months of paid service, then you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card, and so will we. So you'll be supporting us if you go that way.
Okay, and then the next thing we want to talk about is socializing. So that's one of the greatest ways to grow your channel, is get out there and socialize with other people's channels and support their channels. And that's actually one of the funnest things, because there's so many YouTubers out there you wouldn't believe. I mean, there's millions probably, and so many that have great channels and really fun content. And for a while I was in a rut just watching the same old stuff, and now that we started this Cornfed channel, I'm looking for like-minded people. I'm looking for especially small channels. I really enjoy when because I enjoy the interaction, and a lot of times if you comment on big channels, you don't really get a lot of times they're too busy to interact with you. I love small channels because you that's how you make friends. You get to know people. You watch their content. You comment. They're probably going to comment back to you, and so you get to have that fun interaction.
So what was the video that you got to be on?
Oh yeah, so that was one of the funnest things. That wasn't to support this channel. So it was
like collaboration type.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to collaborate with the one and only Nick Johnson, who was somebody I'd been watching his videos for a long time. If you don't know Nick, he does videos all about the U.S. and he did a whole unboxing series for each state. So like unboxing Kansas, unboxing California, and whatnot. And what?
Keep knocking the table, so it's just taking your foot down.
Oh, goodness. So anyway, he was looking for people for his Unboxing Oregon, and that's where we lived at the time. So I said, yeah, I'd love to trash talk. I mean, I'd love to talk about Oregon. No, and Nick Johnson, that's kind of his niche, is he likes to give you the dirt on the different states, and he points out the good stuff too. But I just love his humor, his sense of humor, and his delivery and stuff. And then I got to spend an hour chatting with him and found out he's like a really nice guy. And we've kind of have maintained a little bit of a friendship, and we send messages back and forth sometimes. But that was just a real fun thing. And collaborating with people is a really great way to promote your channel. And just kind of, you can promote their channel, they promote yours. It kind of is a two-way street there. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and you feel like you're part of a community. You're not out here doing this alone, and they can give you tips on how to grow your channel as well.
Yeah, and so we love doing collaborations. So any of you out there that have your own channels that want to do something with us, we would love to talk to you about that.
There might be different subjects that you haven't seen on our channel that you want us to bring up, and maybe you could be a guest on our podcast, and we could have your screen to the side, and we could talk to you on one of the podcasts.
Yeah, that would be a blast. So hit us up if you have a channel and you'd be interested in collaborating. We would love to do that with you. And then we wanted to bring up one more thing. Don't get burned out.
No, take a break. I saw, or who would I follow? There was this one really cute lady with I think she was down in Australia or South Africa. I can't tell the difference. And she had a cupcake baking channel. She's so cute. And then I noticed that I got to the end of her new videos, and she hadn't really posted anything for at first months, and then I checked back a while later, and then for like a year she didn't post anything new, and I was just wondering what happened. And she gave a talk on a video about it, and she just realized one day when she was on a trip doing like a book tour in New York away from her family. She thought like, oh, this is great, like these are new places I can see. But then she really got down to the core of it, which is, what am I doing with my life? I'm missing out on my family. For, it's fun to do these things, but it's really meaningless when you're not doing it and sharing it with your family. So she talked to her husband about it, and he said, well, how about you don't do a show next week? And so she said, oh, well, I have to. And he said, no, you actually don't. And what if you don't do a show next week? And so she took a week off, and then she took another week off, and then she took another week off because she was just completely burned out. And she is back in the game, I think, but not as much, so that it really takes away from her family life nowadays. So don't do that. Like, don't get so involved in this, because this really isn't, I mean, it's not important unless you're following what God wants you to do. It's not like self promotion or anything. It's just not important. It's not fulfilling, not important. So don't worry about like your public persona or keeping up appearances on YouTube, because and that shouldn't be like your underlying purpose in doing this anyway. It should just be, following God, what he wants you to do in every aspect of your life.
Yeah. Amen. Preach it, sister. And then, so speaking of things that don't work and things you should avoid, at least this has not worked for us, is we tried a pay service that says they'll get you subscribers. And the one we tried is called Sprizzy. And I saw a lot of ads for them. And so there's a lot of talk out there about these paid services. They just get you bots. So Sprizzy kept saying like, oh, we get you actual subscribers.
Yeah, we want people actually commenting and
right,
that we can interact with, like people that are part of the channel.
Yeah, and so they claim that they know how to promote your content to people that are interested in your topic. So they're going to be actual, like, real people that like what you're doing. So we thought, well, that sounds good, because that's what we want. Because the goal for all beginning YouTubers is to hit that magic 1,000 subscribers, because that's when you're eligible to start making money, at least through the YouTube AdSense and or Google AdSense. But so you want to get that 1,000, but nobody wants bots, because those will end up going away. Plus YouTube has a way of finding those and eliminating them. So Sprizzy sounded great. It was all about how they're going to find you real people that are just interested in your content, and we thought that's exactly what we want. So we spent a couple $100 on that, and what did we get? Bots. Yeah, almost everybody, almost every subscriber that we saw come from that, we'd click on their channel, and it would be just a shell of a channel. No
videos,
usually
no subscribers.
Yeah, usually not even a photo of them and their icon, and then we noticed, like, so the campaign ended, and then Sprizzy sends you a report, and they're like, oh, we got you, 30 subscribers or whatever it was. And which, to be honest, I was like, wow, $200 and all you get is 30 subscribers. That's like not worth it. Imagine how much it would cost you to get to 1,000, ridiculous amount. But then also within a few days, I think most, if not all, of those subscribers got wiped by YouTube, because, like I said, YouTube has some sort of algorithm where they find fake accounts and they eliminate them. So our subscribers went up real quick, and then they went right back down. So that's just our experience. You really want to get your subscribers naturally. That's been what works.
I tried to do a sub for sub, and that didn't really work.
Yeah, because people are just trying to get subscribers for themselves. So really the best thing is just to find channels that you enjoy and maybe have similar content to yours, subscribe to them, and comment on their stuff and get a conversation going.
Help them out, the like-minded people.
Yeah, and usually other people with small channels are going to want to get you back. So, if they see you subscribe to them and they see that you have a channel, they're probably going to subscribe to you. I'm sure it's not going to happen all the time, but it will often because, other small YouTubers know, hey, it's a struggle to get subscribers. So, hey, they're subscribing to me. I'm going to subscribe to them. Usually it's kind of something that goes unsaid. It's going to happen. Plus, that's the way you meet people that are interested in your same stuff. You make new friends. Discover all kinds of great new content that you hadn't seen before.
So another thing that didn't work for me is I would go to channels that had a similar video that I was promoting, and I would put a link to the video in their comment section and just say, hey, if you like this, check out this video. And that didn't really pan out too. That's not really worth your time either. Yeah, and you don't want to promote your content, the click bait and switch, where you have a certain thumbnail that this is what you're gonna be watching, and then people hate that. Like, they don't want to be disappointed. So if they do that, they won't continue to watch the content and they won't click on additional content. And that really makes YouTube not promote your channel. What YouTube algorithm is looking for is for people who watch a lengthy amount of the video, and they also click on additional videos from the channel, is what they're looking for in order to push your channel and your videos up to the forefront of promotion, suggestions, and searches.
Yeah. So where do we want to go with all this? Where is all this leading?
I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
Well, I think some of the things that we aim to do is we want to be entertaining. We want to put out content that people are enjoying. We want you to enjoy it as much as we enjoy making this stuff.
I want it to be edifying, like you're happy after you watch it.
Yeah. It's something that you watch and you're like, oh, that's neat. That it makes you feel good. Because we're covering things that are interesting to us, and so we hope they're interesting to you. We want to be creative. When we make something, it's like the video is like what? What is it?
Like our little baby.
Like our little baby.
And we're just so proud when we do a good job and it takes off and has its own little life.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to warn you, people will insult your babies. But don't go full Will Smith on them.
It's kind of funny when you do get a troll comment, though. I kind of enjoy it because a lot of them aren't crass. They're just funny. I kind of enjoy troll comments.
But yeah, just take negative comments with a grain of salt. Overwhelmingly, people give us positive comments, but there's always some few negative ones, and just don't let it get you down when that happens. Usually I'll just respond and say something funny back to them. I don't get down in the gutter with them. Yeah,
they're just looking for attention, so give them attention. Give them good positive attention.
I've had people say things like, oh, this is the worst video I've ever seen. And I'll say something like, is this the worst video or the best of all time, or something like that. That, really just kind of shrug it off. But, I think ultimately our goal is to do these things. Also, like I said, to make friends, make connections with other YouTubers, just to kind of be part of a like-minded community of people that think like we do, that believe like we do.
Yeah, what kind of guided me and our goal for this is Chandra from, what was their shop called?
Her shop was called
Glen Elder.
It's in Glen Elder. Oh, man. I can't think of it.
I'm going to have to edit that in.
Anyway, we'll put a little, the Riverside Market, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Riverside Market.
Right. Well, she really talked about, don't be so money-driven in your goals for a business because, there's going to be ups and downs for that. So don't stress out about that. Just worry about serving other people and just doing what God tells you to do, and that's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get there, what are you going to get there. You just
enjoy the ride.
Right. Exactly.
Enjoy the journey, to quote a poster I once saw.
Okay, so you mentioned our lovely
T-shirts. And speaking of T-shirts, always make sure to go on our. We actually sell T-shirts as well, not these, but how do they get to our T-shirt website?
All they have to do is go to the video description, and we'll have
a link
to the merchant site where he has designed different T-shirt designs.
Yeah, we just have a couple up now, but there'll be more coming soon. Anyway, sorry about that shameless plug. You want to know how to win this cool merch. So basically, just to let you know, these are all used T-shirts. Whenever we're traveling around the Midwest, we like to stop at Goodwill, Salvation Army, what have you. And we always look for fun Midwest themed shirts, usually like college sports teams and stuff. So we decided, hey, it'd be fun to get these to wear on our podcast to support the Midwest. We're all about supporting the Midwest, whether that be college teams or businesses or whatever.
Great.
We like to support local. so
eat local.
So I
don't know how else you would eat, but eat local.
So our goal is to wear these shirts on each podcast and then give them away. So you can win. So typically you'll be able to win whatever shirts we're wearing. So just know these are used shirts from the Salvation Army or whatever. We promise to launder them before we mail them to you. But
unless you don't want us to, there's something wrong with you.
So any shirts I am wearing, it's probably going to be a men's large, occasionally an XL, but probably a men's large. Anything she's wearing is going to be a men's medium usually.
Or a child's XXL.
Or a child's XXL, which is roughly equivalent to a men's medium. So how are we going to pick the winner to win these super cool T-shirts?
We're going to go with the best comment made, and I am rooting for you personally, John. I know you can come up with something amazing.
So we're going to go with the best comment. And this is important. We don't want somebody to win a T-shirt that does not want a T-shirt. So you have to make the best comment, and somewhere in your comment, or maybe at the end of it, you have to say which shirt you want. So you have to make your comment.
Say, you want Nebraska or Kansas?
Nebraska or the Lindsborg Swedes. These are the Swedes. So yeah, leave your comment. If you want to win a shirt, let us know where. And then if you win it, we will respond to your comment, and then you can email us. We'll tell you at that point how to email us your address, and we will send you the shirt. So stay tuned every week. Every week we'll be wearing a new shirt. We've got some great ones coming. We got some Jayhawks shirts. We've got, I think we've got a Cornhusker or two.
We got some Pirates.
This could be a Cornhusker, possibly. Anyway, what we love to buy too are unusual mascots. We love colleges that have really funky mascots.
Corn shockers.
Yeah, I've always liked unusual mascots. Okay, coming from Oregon, I got to mention some of my faves. Of course, the Grants Pass Cavemen. I mean, come on. How many schools are the Cavemen? And Grants Pass is so proud of their cavemen. When you drive in, when you exit the freeway into Grants Pass, Oregon, they have like a 15-foot tall statue of a big caveman dragging his club. So unusual. And then, of course, another one of my favorites back in Oregon was there was a town called Pleasant Hill, and they were the Billies, like a billy goat. So when you see their shirt, it says Pleasant Hill Billies. So I just thought that was pretty awesome. So anyway, yeah, and so we like unusual ones out here, like the Shockers. She's got a Shockers t-shirt, which is a weird one. The first time I saw it, I was like, what is that thing? It's some sort of monster. It's like a wheat dude with like wheat growing out of his head and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of fun ones out here.
Yeah, lots of imagination out here. People are crazy creative in the Midwest.
Yep. A lot of creativity. So is that all we have for them today?
That's all we got.
All right. So thanks for joining us again. We hope you'll tune in to the next one. We try to do these weekly when possible. Occasionally we might slip in 2 in a week. And occasionally we might go a week or 2 without doing one. But we will try to consistently bring you podcasts. We love ideas. So if you want to put in the comments below any ideas you have or you'd like us to talk about, We try to keep these Midwest themed. So today was kind of a slight deviation, but we love to talk about the Midwest, and as we explore it and get to know it, we like to share it with you. So thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day and a blessed week, and we'll see you around on YouTube. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we're parked out by the lake to let you know that if you liked that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you go to the description below, you can find a link to our online store where you can buy all kinds of fun corn-fed merchandise, like this one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Or if you want to go a step further and support us in our corn-fed endeavors, you can buy us an ear of corn or two by
Going to patreon.com/cornfedlife, and for as little as $1 a month, you can help support some starving YouTubers.
Thanks for watching.